how to control your thoughts and change your life. Sometimes in life, the greatest battle we face is not with the world outside, but with the world inside our minds. Thoughts can either be the wings that lift us or the chains that bind us. We are shaped not by the circumstances around us, but by the stories we tell ourselves every single day. The question is, are you telling yourself a story of strength or a story of defeat? Today, let us walk together on this journey of learning how to control our thoughts and in doing so, transform our entire lives. Because when you conquer your mind, you conquer your destiny. Recognize the power of your thoughts. The first step is awareness, understanding that every single thought is not harmless background noise. Your thoughts create your emotions dictate your actions, and your actions shape your reality. It starts with a spark in your mind, and that spark becomes the fuel for your entire life. The danger is that many people underestimate this process and dismiss their inner talk as unimportant, but that's where the trap lies. Think about it. When you wake up in the morning and the first thought is, "This day is going to be hard," you've already created a lens of struggle through which you will interpret everything. But if you tell yourself, "This day is a new opportunity," you've shifted the entire tone of your experience. The day itself hasn't changed. The difference is the thought you chose to give power to. That's how strong the connection is between thought and outcome. The problem is most of us let our thoughts run on autopilot. We don't stop to question them. And so negative patterns repeat over and over. But if you recognize that every thought is a choice, you stop being a prisoner of your mind. You begin to understand that your reality is not fixed, it is built brick by the thoughts you allow to stay. It's like programming a computer. If the code you write is full of errors, the system won't function properly. Your thoughts are that code. When you program yourself with doubt, fear, or negativity, your system crashes. But when you program yourself with confidence, hope, and solutions, you run smoothly and create results. The real transformation comes when you stop being passive and start being deliberate. You are not stuck with the thoughts you currently have. You can replace them. You can redirect them. You can train your mind to serve you instead of sabotage you. And once you truly see that thoughts are not random, they are powerful, you stop taking them lightly. You begin to treat them as the foundation of your life. Every time you let a thought in, you are either building your strength or feeding your weakness. Recognizing this is where control begins. Replace negativity with empowering beliefs. Once you realize how much power your thoughts hold, you begin to see why negativity is so dangerous. Negative thoughts are like weeds in a garden. Left unchecked, they spread, multiply, and choke out everything beautiful. They start small, almost harmless. But the more you feed them, the stronger they become. That's why replacing negativity with empowering beliefs is not optional. It is necessary for transformation. When a negative thought shows up, it usually comes disguised as logic. I am not ready. I don't have what it takes. What if I fail? These thoughts feel safe because they keep you from taking risks. But in reality, they are walls that block your growth. The longer you repeat them, the more they hardwire into your brain until they become your identity. And when you believe them, you live smaller than you were meant to live. The antidote is deliberate replacement. Every time you catch yourself thinking, "I can't do this," you replace it with, "I'll figure it out step by step." When you think, "I'm not good enough," you counter it with, "I am learning, I am growing, and I am improving." These new beliefs may feel uncomfortable at first because they go against the old programming, but repetition is how you rewire your brain. Just as exercise builds muscle, practicing new thoughts builds new neural pathways. Think about an athlete training for a sport. They don't wait until they're strong to begin. They build strength through daily practice. The same is true for empowering beliefs. At first, they feel weak compared to the heavy weight of negativity. But the more you repeat them, the stronger they become until they are the natural response of your mind. You can't control the first thought that enters your head, it's automatic. But you can control the second thought. the one you choose to replace it with. That second thought is where your power lies. It's the pause, the moment you redirect your mind from a path of fear to a path of possibility. As you practice this, something incredible happens. Your new beliefs don't just replace the old ones, they begin to shape how you see yourself. You stop identifying with your failures and start identifying with your strength. You stop defining yourself by what went wrong and start defining yourself by what you're capable of creating next. That shift changes everything. Negativity doesn't vanish on its own. You have to starve it by feeding positivity. When you make the conscious choice to replace limiting thoughts with empowering beliefs, you begin to build a new identity. And once your beliefs change, your actions and your life follow. Practice mindful awareness daily. The third step is awareness. Most people live their entire lives without ever realizing that they are not their thoughts. They are simply the observer of their thoughts. When you don't know this, you become a puppet to whatever your mind says. When you do know this, you take back control. Because you realize you have the power to decide which thoughts deserve your energy and which ones to release. Mindful awareness is about creating a pause between the thought and your reaction. Instead of instantly believing everything your brain tells you, you step back and notice. You ask, is this thought true? Is it useful? Does it serve me or sabotage me? That pause is small, but it's where transformation begins. It's like watching clouds drift across the sky. Some are dark and heavy, others light and beautiful, but none of them stay forever. Your thoughts are the same. Some are fearful, some are hopeful, some are self-defeating, some are empowering. When you practice awareness, you stop grabbing onto every passing cloud. You simply observe, and you choose which ones to keep. Daily practice matters because your mind is like a muscle. If you let it run wild, it becomes weak, scattered, and easily overwhelmed. But if you train it through mindfulness, whether through meditation, journaling, or simply pausing to breathe, you build mental strength. You become less reactive, more intentional, and more in control. This doesn't mean your mind will become perfectly calm. Thoughts will still come, doubts will still show up, fears will still whisper. The difference is that you won't identify with them anymore. You'll see them for what they are, temporary patterns, not permanent truths. And when you stop identifying with every thought, you gain freedom. Fearful thoughts no longer dictate your actions. Negative thoughts no longer control your emotions. You start choosing your responses instead of reacting on autopilot. That is the difference between being controlled by your mind and controlling it. Awareness is the foundation of change. The more you practice it, the more power you reclaim. It transforms you from a passenger in your own mind into the driver of your life. Surround yourself with positive influence. Your thoughts are influenced not just by what happens inside you, but also by what happens around you. The people you spend time with, the conversations you engage in, the media you consume, all of it feeds your mind. That's why surrounding yourself with positive influence is crucial if you want to control your thoughts. Negativity is contagious. If you spend time with people who constantly complain, doubt, or gossip, you'll absorb their energy without even realizing it. Your brain mirrors the environment you're in. The more negativity you hear, the more it echoes in your own thoughts. On the other hand, positivity is just as contagious. When you surround yourself with people who believe in growth, who encourage you, who see possibility, your mind begins to rise to that level. Think of your environment as the soil in which your thoughts grow. If the soil is toxic, even the best seeds will struggle to grow. But if the soil is toxic, even the best seeds will struggle to grow. But if the soil is rich, everything you plant flourishes. That's why being deliberate about your environment is not about being picky, it's about protecting the most important part of your life, your mind. This doesn't mean cutting off everyone who struggles. It means being intentional about the voices you allow to have the most influence over you. It means choosing to spend more time with those who uplift you and less time with those who drag you down. It means feeding your brain with books, podcasts, and conversations that align with the person you want to become. Your environment sets the baseline for your thinking. If everyone around you plays small, you'll feel uncomfortable dreaming big. If everyone around you pushes forward, you'll feel inspired to stretch yourself too. Growth is not just an individual act, it is also a reflection of the company you keep. The beautiful part is that positivity multiplies. The more you surround yourself with it, the more it becomes your natural state. And when your thoughts are positive, your actions follow. Before long, you don't just absorb positivity, you radiate it, and you become a source of inspiration for others. When you control your environment, you control your influences. And when you control your influences, you shape the thoughts that shape your life. Turn thoughts into action. The final step is to understand that thoughts alone do not change your life, action does. You can think empowering thoughts all day long, but if you don't back them up with action, nothing changes. Action is what transforms your thoughts into reality. Think about confidence. You don't build confidence by thinking about being confident. You build it by taking action, even when you feel uncertain. Each time you act, your brain collects evidence that you are capable, and that evidence strengthens the belief. Thoughts create the blueprint, but action lays the bricks. The same is true for success. You can visualize it, affirm it, believe in it, but until you take consistent steps toward it, it remains a dream. Success is not built in your head, it is built through daily, sometimes uncomfortable action. That's how your thoughts stop being theory and start becoming transformation. The key is not waiting until you feel ready. You'll never feel fully ready, and that's okay. Action creates readiness. Action creates clarity. Action creates momentum. The very act of moving forward shifts your thinking from doubt to possibility, from hesitation to progress. And when you act, something even more powerful happens. You start to trust yourself. Every time you follow through on a thought, you prove to yourself that you are reliable, disciplined, and courageous. That self-trust becomes the foundation for greater action, and greater action creates greater results. Consistency is what makes the difference. One action won't change your life, but repeated actions will. Every time you act, you carve a new pathway in your brain, and over time, those pathways become who you are. That is how you rewire your identity and transform your life. Controlled thoughts give you direction, but action gives you results. When you align the two, you become unstoppable. In the end, when you look back at everything we've talked about today, it all circles around one truth. Your life is nothing more than a reflection of your thoughts. If you think small, you will live small. If you think with fear, you will live in fear. But if you take control of your mind, if you guide your thoughts towards strength, gratitude, courage, and possibility, then your life transforms. This isn't about pretending everything is perfect. It's about deciding that no matter what happens, your inner world will remain stronger than your outer circumstances. Because once you win the war inside, no challenge outside can ever defeat you. Taking control of your thoughts is not a one-time decision, it is a daily practice. It's the recognition that your mind will wander, but you can redirect it. It's the courage to replace negativity with belief, to slow down and practice awareness, to surround yourself with people who lift you, and to turn every empowering thought into action. These are not abstract ideas, they are tools you can use every single day to create a life filled with purpose, growth, and resilience. Your thoughts are your compass, and when you hold them firmly, you will always find the path forward.